The heart of volleyball continues to beat here inside the Minglanilla Sports Complex in Minglanilla, Cebu. In case you missed it, the Signal HD Spikers just got their fourth straight win at the expense of the next-led Chameleons. And for our second match, Julia Coronel will take center stage as the main playmaker for the Galeries Tower Highrisers, and their fellow rookie Roma Doromal will also man the floor for the Capital1 Solar Spikers. The Highrisers are looking for their first win as they go out of town, and for the Solar Spikers, they are coming off their first victory and they want to keep the momentum going. That is our match at hand, Capital1 versus Galeries Tower Highrisers. Hello everybody, you're still catching the All-Filipino Conference of the PVL. Neil Flores pa rin po alongside Jamie La Victoria. Jamie, it has been a pleasure working with you, and we have our main game for today. It's Galeries versus Capital1. What can we expect between these two teams?
We love seeing and hearing the volleyball action in today.
Let's check the team standings first, because as I mentioned a while ago, nanalo yung Signal against Next-Led in a 3 straight set.
That's right. The Galeries Tower Highrisers have yet to win their first match, but for the Capital1 Solar Spikers, they did have that one win. So you can see that they're in the same spot almost in the team standings here. But let's see how things will unfold in today's game.
We know that it is a long conference, but getting every win will actually help the teams position themselves in the next round of competition. Well, Jamie, we'll talk about the two teams, but we'll take a quick break first. You're still watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference. You're still watching the continuation of our PVL All-Filipino Conference Preliminaries. Thank you so much for catching us on One Sports Channel 6, One Sports Plus, Channel 261, and the Pilipinas Live app. Now, Jamie, let's talk about the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Confidence is at an all-time high because there has been some resurgence dun sa specific player na unang papag-usapan natin. And that player is Heather Ginoo.
That girl on your screens, she has done wonders for the Capital1 Solar Spikers. She did tally 21 points against the Next-Led Chameleons, and she is shining bright for her squad. Iris Tolanada perfectly setting her up for offense, but you see that she is able to make a way during that game. But let's see if she will be guarded heavily against the Galeries Tower Highrisers in today's match.
Well, we know that in the sport of volleyball, sometimes patience is key.
Yes.
She has been waiting for her time to shine, and I am happy to see her back in the starting unit. And for them to be able to notch that first win, she needed some help. And they have a tall reinforcement in the rookie also in Leila Cruz.
That's right. She is the second overall pick for that PVL rookie draft. She tallied 17 points against the next set Chameleons. And it's nice to see that she has found a home in the Capital1 Solar Spikers. She is slowly getting the hang of things, and you could see that Iris is slowly giving her the confidence she needs to make leaps and bounds.
You can clearly see the difference in the growth of Leila Cruz from her collegiate years. She's now coming out of her shell in the pros. Now, Jamie, it's time to talk about a team that has impressed us kahit na wala pa silang panalo in this preliminary round. The Galeries Tower Highrisers, they've had a lot of close games, maraming mga what-ifs, what could have been. But there was one thorn at the net for their opponents. It has been the underrated middle blocker in Rosel Baliton.
Underrated is the word. You are correct, Neil. Rosel Baliton, 12 points against the Zeus Coffee Bells, and her specialty is that a quick attack. We've seen it in her college years in the UE Lady Warriors, and you could see not alone just in her points, but her being that leader and her stepping up alongside her other athletes on the team.
She has played different possessions, and that has been a great help for Coach Larma and the Galeries Tower Highrisers. But if merong katulong si Julia Coronel kanina, I mean, right now we have to focus on the star of their defense, Eliza Eroa. Small but terrible. She may be undersized, but the numbers is truly big for that star.
I only have good things to say about Eliza Eroa. The offense is run smoothly because of the defense back row of Eroa. She commands the court. She takes control of the small things. The receivers there, the digs are there, and because of that, Julia Coronel is able to elevate the plays and generate combination plays for her squad. But let's see if they can clinch their first win today.
In their 3-set loss against Zeus, we know that Eliza Eroa's numbers were limited kasi iniiwasan talaga siya. So she has to take up more space if they do want to get to win number 1. Now, we want to get our fans involved in social media. They've been very active from the first game pa lang. That's why we have a Pilipinas Live poll question right below your streets. And the question is, which top 3 pick will break down today? Again, that is the question. Which top 3 pick will break out today? You can use the hashtag PVL2025 and tag Jamie La Victoria so that you can include her in your conversations. We have Leila Cruz. We also have Julia Coronel, and marami pa tayong pagpipilian dyan. But we'll leave it up to the fans to decide. We're just about getting ready here in the venue. When we return, we'll give you the first serve, and we'll also give you another feature in giving season.
Very interesting. Hey, PVL.
PVL?
PVL.
PVL? Giving
Season.
season. Ooh. Oh, oh my gosh. It's Liza Eroa.
Yung nakita ko yung TikTok video niya, she posted her journey kung paano siya nag-stop from playing volleyball. She was given an opportunity to play again and then nag-best libero siya. That really inspired me.
Every time nakalaban ko to si Eroa, sobrang bilib ako sa kanya. And pag napapanood ko talaga, hindi talaga siya mapatayan ng bola eh.
She's small like Ate Don. They're very fast, they're very quick sa reactions, and yun yung isa na gusto ko talagang ma-improve.
Naaalala ko kasi yung nung college days ko, yung fire, yung passion niya sa paglalaro, and gusto kong magaya ulit yon, like mabalik yung fire and passion na talagang hindi mapatayan ng bola.
My wish for Ate Eliza is sana magtuloy-tuloy yung great performance niya from the last conference.
Ang wish ko para sa'yo sa Pasko, syempre good health and no injuries this coming conference. And syempre good luck in your volleyball career.
Interesting.
Oh. Si Iris Tolenada. Nung teammates pa kami sa F2, sobrang hardworking nitong taong to, as in. Tapos kung kailangan mo ng friend, one call away talaga siya. Laro ni Iris, since super hardworking nga siya na tao, sobrang makikita mo yun inside the court eh. So mahahawa ka talaga dun sa energy niya.
Experience din. Siyempre, naglaro din siya sa ibang bansa and madami din siyang coaches na nakapag-handle sa kanya. How she gave confidence to her teammates. Alam niya kung paano ma-lift up yung teammates.
Yung one thing na gusto kong matutunan kay Iris, yung pagiging vocal niya. Paano niya sinasabi yung mga gusto niyang mangyari sa team. Yun talaga.
My Christmas wish is that you just keep loving the sport and keep doing what you're doing and you inspire your teammates more.
Wish ko for Iris ngayong Christmas, siguro yung matupad kung ano man yung wini-wish niya. Sobrang mabuting tao tong si Iris.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, PVL!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Premier Volleyball League Season 8 All-Filipino Conference. Presenting our two competing teams for match number 26 of the 24-25 All-Filipino Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Capital1 Solar Spikers and Team Galeries Tower Highrisers. Presenting the officials for this match. First referee, Ms. Joy Diimos, AVC International Referee. Second referee, Mr. Jofer Educado, national referee. And now, folks, let's go ahead and meet the starters of your team, Capital1 Solar Spikers. Let's start off with player number 2, Sydney May Niegos. Player number 5, Maria Clemente de Guzman. Team captain number 8, Jurel Singh. Player number 10, Iris Tolenada. Player number 15, Heather Ann Guino. And player number 22, Layla Jane Cruz. Their starting libero is player number 18, Cebuana Rica Jane Rivera. Head coach, Mr. Roger Gorayev. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your starters for team Galeries Tower Highrisers. Let's start off with player number 2, Jewel Encarnacion. Player number 3, Isabel Jimenez. Player number 12, Rosel Baliton. Player number 13, France Elise Ronquillo. Player number 14, Andrea Marzan. And player number 18, Julia Coronel. Their captain and libero is player number 16, Eliza Erroa. Head coach, Miss Lerma Giron.
Everybody was having a blast here inside the Minglanilla Sports Complex. We were giving away free shirts to the fans that came out. Let's check out the starters of the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Again, same prospects. Heather Ginoo getting that starting nod from Coach Roger Gorayev. And for the Galeries Tower Highrisers, it will still be Julia Coronel as their main setter and Franz Ronquillo as their main attacker.
That's right, Julia Cornell. Speaking of her, she has done wonders for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. A lot of their games, most of their games so far in this All-Filipino conference is almost is never enough. But Neil, today could be the day where they get their first win here in Cebu.
I do agree. Itong Galeries Tower, they win sets, they push teams to their limit.
Yes.
Maabot pa sa deuce points, mahabang games. But it's just that finishing kick.
That's right.
And they will try to resolve that in this game against Capital1 as they get the first point of that Ginoo service error.
It's nice to see that Heather has found a home here for Capital1. Her confidence has grown because of the playing time, of course. That girl, Julia Cornell.
Tolenada will go to Jurel Singh. Outside.
It's a slow start for the Capital1 Solar Spikers. There's Coach Roger already shaking his head.
Yeah, that sometimes they have that tendency to start really slow, but when they get their rhythm, nagtutuloy-tuloy na. But we know that Galeries Tower is hungry. And hungry is an understatement. Gusto talaga nilang makuha yung una nilang panalo here in the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
That's a good up by Lai Eroa. Ronquillo unable to get that attack over the net.
That's another unforced error for the Capital1 Solar Spikers. So 3 straight errors from Capital1 to start off our final game of our Saturday doubleheader. They get the point right back.
It's a seesaw battle here. An exchange of errors between both squads. Slow starts for Capital1 and Galeries. Good serve by Iris.
Coronel to Jimenez. Heather Ginoo got a hand on that first touch. Iris Tolenada just lost her footing.
You know, it's nice to see that Jimenez has gotten a lot of playing time at this All-Filipino conference because Julia Coronel has allowed her spikers to shine so far.
Free ball for Galeries Tower. Jimenez again.
So touch on that one.
There is a check ball on one of the blockers of the
Yep.
Solar Spikers.
So it is back-to-back points for Isa Jimenez for Galleries.
Jamie, we had a couple of guests from these teams on starting lineup. It was Tim Pacres and Rica Rivera, their homegrown Cebuanas.
Yes.
And matagal na daw nilang hinihintay to play in front of their home crowd. It is going to be an explosive matchup. Jimenez off the cross court. Encarnacion will get a first touch. And she converts off that hit.
What an attack by Jewel Encarnacion. Take a look at the swing, that approach. Smart play coming from Galleries.
Ng Galeries Tower, they were starting to build their program.
Yes.
Ng reinforced conference pa lang. But with the addition of the rookie in Julia Coronel, kitang-kita natin agad kung ano yung pinagbago ng laro nila. They have a great libero in Eliza Eroa. They have a star playmaker in Julia Coronel. And offense na lang talaga yung kailangan ng Galeries Tower. For Capital 1 naman, Iris Tolenada is a
On
perfect
point.
fit.
Yep. And it's not just her efficient setting, it's also her leadership commanding the court. But I want to talk more about Julia Coronel Neal. She's really being that leader for Galleries. And this is a new scene from her. Of course, we all know she's coming from DLSU, but she's slowly creating her own identity here in the PVL.
Wow. Julia Coronel is having a field day in activating all of her attackers.
Yep.
Be quick play. Rosel Baleton.
Leila Cruz, Niegos. Niegos not even up for that attack. Quick set coming from Julia. Good receive.
Leila Cruz on the soft touch. Encarnacion will push that ball. But the Galeries Tower Highrisers couldn't control their coverage.
Leila Cruz has to maximize, of course, her height and might for the Capital 1 Solar Spikers.
In a way, yung mga matatangkad na spikers, they have a higher attack reach, block reach also. Kailangan lang nila maging consistent dun sa approach and swing.
Yep.
As we talk about consistency, that has been absent dun sa serving ng Capital 1 will enter the first technical timeout with Galeries Tower on top by 3. It's 8 serving 5. Favor of the Galeries Tower Highrisers. As we say that, dagdag na naman sa unforced errors. It has been an error-prone start
Yep.
in our second match.
And specifically on service.
It's something that only you can control.
Yep.
Baliton this time plays an opposite hitter. Ginoo.
Good hustle.
Chance, Capital One. Short slide to Clemente, doesn't work. Coronel to Ronquillo. She finds the end line.
End line and going down the line, zone 1, gotta give credit to the middle blocker there in Baliton for being that decoy. One blocker up against France Ronquillo in that one.
Early lead for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Great serve from Baliton. Coronel will go to Ronquillo, but she gets blocked by Clemente de Guzman.
Keep in mind, Clemente being one of the taller spikers alongside Layla Cruz for the Capital1 Solar Spikers. You gotta avoid her hand, but there also needs to be coverage for the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
It'll take some time bago tayo masanay sa Clemente de Guzman.
Yep. Good
Coronel
set.
to Ronquillo again, blocked by Capital One. Back quick,
What a spot.
good to go for Andrea Marzan.
That is Barbie Marzan for that back quick attack. You see Julia Coronel just utilizing all her spikers here, fooling the blocking of Capital One.
You can see a lot of plays in the book of Julia Coronel. Simula pa lang,
Definitely.
out of system for Capital One. Chance ball, Galeries Tower. Jimenez hits it long.
She's asking for a check ball in that sequence, but a bit overcooked in that attack.
Again, we thank all the Cebuanos na kasama pa rin namin hanggang ngayon dito sa Minglanilla Sports Complex. We're still packed. People are enjoying a lot of freebies, a lot of opportunities to take photos with their favorite PVL stars. Maraming salamat din for those watching us on One Sports Channel 6, One Sports Plus Channel 261, and the Pilipinas Live app.
So miscommunication in that last sequence between Iris and Singh. Ooh.
Coronel will go to the middle blocker. Encarnacion out of system, tried to go for a sharp cross. That was just too strong.
So right idea, right intent, going for that zone 4, that sharp cross-court attack.
Oh, that finds the line. We know that Iris is one of the more reliable servers for Coach Roger Gurayev. And they have to make up for the early mistakes that they had. So, this is an early substitution for Coach Lerma. You can see Joanna Marginot check in.
Yep. Good serve.
Yes, there was a check ball on Layla Cruz. Encarnacion knew it.
She knows how to be smart, going up against Layla Cruz, one of the taller spikers here for Capital One. Seesaw battle, Neil, we're seeing between both squads.
Jamie, sa tingin mo, saan kailangan mag-focus ng Galeries Tower para makuha na nila yung una nilang panalo?
Well, I think they need to focus on the first thing, which is reception. With the reception, Julia Coronel is able to execute plays, but at the same time, the spikers need to step up because the set is already there.
Spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
The spiking needs to be a bit more efficient for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Lai Aroa is there to command the back, whereas Julia is there to command the front. So it's up to the wing spikers, the middle blockers, to set up the offense beautifully for the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
We have an antenna touch challenge from Galeries Tower. They are contesting that hit from Jorel Singh. Hindi rin natin nakita. It was right in front of us.
Too
but
fast.
there were a lot of cameras blocking our way.
That an intended touch.
All right.
Yes.
It's a successful challenge from Galeries Tower. You can see a lot of supporters from the Capital1 Solar Spikers up in the bleachers.
Yep.
Walang tayuan dito sa Minglanilla Sports Complex. 3-point lead for Galeries Tower.
Ooh, the set is too tight. The set is a bit too tight for Singh, but Capital will call for timeout.
Hindi yung basta igagaling nyo lang, makakamatay ba? Diba? Ilaglag natin, parang compliance lang, mai-over lang yung bola. Mai-over lang. Ito, in the course, hindi mo pa nai-over yung bola. May kanang kamay naman tayo eh. Kanan tayo, gamitin nyo yung kanan nyo. Isip, magiging.
Sabay.
The Capital1 Solar Spikers are down by 4 points here. They are unable to execute their plays. Rica Rivera, one of the homegrown talents for Cebu. De La Cruz, Niargos, Singh, Barbie Marzan up to serve.
Galeries Tower who want to maintain this 4-point lead. Overpass from Capital1. Rivera pops up ball up. Coronel goes to the left pin. Encarnacion. Quick attack for Niegos. Isa Jimenez with a spin shot. Iris Tolenada goes to Leila Cruz. Dug by Coronel.
Ooh, that's too tight.
Tight. Cruz again. Defense holding up for Galeries Tower. Isa Jimenez with a powerful hit, breaking the block of the Capital1 Solar Spikers.
Look at this set coming from Julia Coronel. Very composed and calm during these rallies. Her Spikers are shining because of her. They're up by 5.
You gotta love the distribution of Julia Coronel.
Yes.
If you want your Spikers to be confident, they have to get their fair share of touches.
Yes, that's the only way that they will improve. But I love the attitude of Julia commanding the court and really creating her own identity here in the PVL.
Double contact is called by our first referee. Second technical timeout. Galeries Tower up by 6. Arena Plus, astig sa sports. Si Enrica Rivera and Joanna Marginot. These These will be crucial players if they want to lead their respective teams to a victory. It has been a convincing set number 1 for the
Yes.
Galeries Tower Highrisers. They came prepared. They're bringing all their guns out. Sa
Yep.
service line pa lang, you can see the intention of scoring. That is why they have a 7-point lead in our opening frame.
Barbie Marjan still at the service line. Good set.
Leila Cruz, yes, getting it off the hands of Rosel Baliton.
This is a simple play ran by Iris. The receiver is actually too tight, but she was able to make a way going for that jump set. A much needed side out for Capital One.
Overpass. Yes, there's an overreaching violation called by our first referee. Julia Coronel tried to save that
Yes.
overpass. It was just too tight.
Yep. But they will call for
Yeah.
a reaching beyond challenge. One of the new challenges we're having here in the PVL. Reaching beyond the net challenge.
Capital One has to wake up because
Yes.
you don't want na magkaroon ng malaking kumpiyansa itong Galeries Tower.
Especially this conference is a 6-month-long conference. All smiles for Galleries.
Yes, that was a clear violation already from Julia Coronel. So that will be an unsuccessful challenge. Point will go to the Solar Spikers. Roa with a perfect receive. Combination play to Encarnacion.
Gotta give credit to Julia Coronel.
Spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin. Pasalubong ng bayan.
Take a look at that combination play. Roma was there, but she was unable to contain that attack.
Okay, if you're on the side of Galeries Tower, you already have an established
Yes.
5-point lead. They have to remember their past games. Ito rin yung situation nila. And so they can't give Capital One that allowance or space to come back.
Yep.
Pero tinutulungan sila ngayon ng Capital One with those unforced errors on the serve.
The Galeries Tower Highrisers need to work on endgame. This is the pattern that we've seen in their past matches, but so far so good as they're nearing that 20 mark.
Better pass from Capital One.
Good up.
Joada Marginot on her first attempt. Tolinada reverse set to Leila Cruz. Yes! That ball found the floor.
There was an open window for Leila Cruz to attack. Take a look at that set coming from Iris Tolanada. And Leila Cruz is actually attacking above that block of Galleries.
Cruz to serve. Bump set to Joanna Maraginot. Popped up by Doromal. Orindain gets it to go.
Matthew being one of the veteran spikers here for the Capital One Solar Spikers. We all know she has the beach volley skills here. Take a look at that. Enough speed and spin on that attack going long ball. Oh, good set.
Maraginot checked by the defense of Capital One. Orindain again. She does not get the check ball as that ball sails outside.
Earlier, she went for that cross-court attack. This time, going for that down the line, finding that open window of defense from Galleries. Challenge is called by the Capital One Solar Spikers. That is a block touch challenge. Coach Roger needing to use this challenge as another timeout. Talking to his squad as they are down by 4 points.
There was no block touch. That was clearly outside for Capital One. Unsuccessful challenge for the Solar Spikers. What has been the difference in the gameplay of Galeries Tower and Capital One, Jamie?
Well, with Galleries, better attacking, better serves. For Capital One, I still think they're trying to find their foot here in this first set. Iris having a lot of options, but a lot of their attacks are not being converted into points.
They've been out of system
Yep.
a lot of times. Orinda in. Power was enough to get it off the hands of Carly Hernandez. We heard that hit. It was right in front of us.
Yep.
Ang lutong nung palo.
Yep.
Ni Patty Orinda in. Great substitution from Coach Roger Goreyev. Coronel all the way to the left pin. Maraguinot. Singh with a better target this time. Sharp cross works for Capital One.
It is the veteran spikers here for the Capital One Solar Spikers, paving the way for their squad.
Timeout, Galeries Tower.
Dalawa. Anong ano nito? Anong play nito? A4? A4 ha? Asahan natin ng maayos. Pabagalin natin yung first ball. Okay? Jo, diskartehan mo yan pag nag-single block dyan. Timingan mo. Medyo lumampas na yung bola sa'yo kanina. Hindi lang, timingan mo lang. Asahan lang natin ng isa ha? Na isang maganda lang. Ikaw una sa unahan. Tumuloy ka kahit ano ha? Ngayon, out of system. Dalawa back row natin. Ha? Dalawa back row. Let's go! Let's go!
Capital One slowly gaining their momentum here in this first set. That's Joe Maraguinot on your screens, who subbed in earlier. But the Galeries Tower Highrisers are wanting to clinch their first win here in the All-Filipino Conference.
No one will be eliminated after the first round of competition, but positioning is important if they want to advance. Clemente goes for that quick attack. Out of system play for Galeries Tower. Maraguinot has been trying to score, but defense has been there. Jorel Singh!
The Capital One Solar Spikers are now awake here in this first set. Take a look at this. Jorel Singh going for that money shot, targeting Jewel in zone 6.
She might be undersized compared to the other outside hitters that we've seen today, but ang likot ng palo ni Jorel Singh, and sometimes mas mahirap pa yun bantayan.
Yep.
Singh again, blocked. Singh one more time. Jorel Singh is on a roll.
And did you see that spot, Neil, going for that cross-court attack? Take a look at that, avoiding that block of Galleries. They are now alive. This is what we said, Neil.
Julia Coronel is asking for one good stop from her attackers to get a good pass. Ronquillo. Fortunately, that sails out. Coach Lerma will be forced to call for a timeout. We're now tied at 20 apiece.
Wala tayong magagawa, kayong dalawa yun nandyan. Nagbibigay ng play pero hindi kayo tumutuloy. Ayaw nyo makipag-usap kung tutuloy o hindi. Okay? Kahit anong mangyari, may pasa naman. Tumuloy kayo. Nasa sa kamay nyo na yan, terms of character nyo, tatlo yan. Pasahan nyo, trabahuhin yung tatlo yan. Ngayon kung mag-out of system, nandyan din si Julia ha. Ngayon kung papalo, yung pinalong ginawa mo kahapon, pwede mong gawin yan. Test of character yan sa inyo.
Neil, you asked me earlier what the Galeries Tower Highrisers need to do in order to gain their first win. And like I mentioned earlier, and what I did answer is the Spikers need to step up for this game.
Yeah, offense has been missing from the Galeries Tower Highrisers. More substitutions. Ayan na yung iniintay natin.
Yes, we are.
Dimi Pacres checks in for the first time alongside Mabilangan. That's the family of Dim Pacres.
All smiles, of course.
Expect this crowd to erupt pag nakapunta si Dim Pacres, but di ba nila kailangan?
Yeah.
Because
Just
that's
wait.
an instant free point for Galeries Tower. We will have to wait for a bit. Lalabas na yung double substitution ni Coach Lerma. It was a quick substitution, but I'm sure she will have more chances later on.
That's right, Neil. Julia Cornell up to serve.
Jurel Singh has the hot hands.
Ooh, good bump set coming
Pero
from
will
Lai.
choose Jimenez. Chance ball for Galeries Tower. Reverse set to Jimenez. Blocked.
Lucky break. That does sail out on that touch. But Capital One will call for timeout. We'll be back.
Sige lang, okay lang yan. Dalawa lang kayo spiker. Maganda ang receive, pwede ka naman kumuwik sa likod niya eh. Huwag na kayong mamili ng bola. Wala na tayong choice eh. Pero lalaki na naman, mamamagaan na naman yan lamang nila. Mahihirapan ka. Ha? Sige lang.
Let's go, ate. Let's go. Let's go, Kapitan!
Galleries is up by 2 points, and it's just the first set.
Two-point lead for Galeries Tower. They're in a good position to snatch the first set. Coaches would always say we have to start out strong. Yan
Yes.
laging hinahanap eh. Let's see if they can finish with flying colors. Singh will
Ooh.
challenge the block.
But there's a touch on that attack. So seesaw battle here in this first set alone.
You can see the fighting spirit
Yep.
from Jurel Singh. Coronel will go to that B quick. That is just too strong for Barbie Marzan.
It's the right intent, but there is a net touch, I believe.
All right, so the second referee just pointed out that it was Niegos who touched the net.
Capital1 Solar Spikers, net touch.
We've had a lot of challenges here
Yes, so
in
far.
set number 1.
Yep. Of course, every point carries so much weight. It's a net fault challenge here.
I think Capital One was expressing their thoughts on that last call. They were saying na nahawakan na ng defender yung bola, so
Yep.
hindi na nakasagabal dun sa play yung potential net violation.
Right.
But we have to review. Yes, there
Yep.
was a clear net violation from Niegos.
So good eye from the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
That was the correct call.
Yep.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful challenge for Capital One. First ball by Singh. Ball will go back to her. She has been unstoppable.
And her specialty in this match is that cross-court attack. But Lai not in the right defensive pattern there. Almost there to get that one. Targeting zone 5. Hot hands, Jarrell Singh.
Yan ang gusto ni Coach Roger kay Jarrell Singh. She just keeps on swinging.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if she's up against tall blockers. She continuously finds ways, but Niegos will score off that regalo. Don't look now, JB. We are now tied at 23 all.
Diegos taking advantage of that early gift, that overpass coming from Ronquillo.
Encarnacion with a soft touch.
You could already see her shoulder in the air with that off-speed attack. I would say, Neil, that was diggable for the Capital1 Solar Spikers.
Maybe a step or two lang na late yung defenders ng Capital1. That will bring Galeries Tower to their first set point. Galeries Tower can end this with a kill block, but Capital1 can also force a deuce point off an attack.
Very crucial.
Costly error from Galeries Tower. We are now tied at 24. Dun nanghihinayang si Coach Lerma. They're almost there.
End game. End game.
But yung mga small balls, yung kailangan nilang pag-ingatan.
Good receive.
Coronel will go to Encarnacion. A block by Capital1. Another chance for the Solar Spikers. Tolenada will go to Rindain. Encarnacion. Tolenada was there. Doromal sets up Leila Cruz. Chance for Capital1. Orindain blocked again. Di pa tayo tapos dito, Jamie. But 4 touches is called on the Solar Spikers. Can you take us through that conversation, Jamie? I think our first referee was pointing out na nahawakan daw muna ni
Jarrell
Doromal.
On the second contact. After.
Based on that replay, I think that was the right
That's
call.
the right call, yep.
4 touches called on Capital1. Galeries Tower back at set point. Perfect receive. Leila Cruz. Dug by Jimenez. Encarnacion off the block.
Good set.
Cruz will try again. Coronel goes to Encarnacion. Is there a check ball? No. There was no check ball. Galeries Tower will challenge that call.
Neil, pressure-packed moments here in Cebu. But a challenge will be called by the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
Isa lang masasabi ko, Jamie, sulit yung tickets ng mga
You said it,
taga
Neil.
Minglanilla. I know some of them galing pa sa malalayong parts ng Cebu, but they're here. It's already almost 8 p.m.
Yep. But of course, we're witnessing such good volleyball action here in this match.
For those people catching us on the Pilipinas Live app, don't forget to answer the question of the game. Which top 3 picks will break out today? Use the hashtag PVL2025.
It's a block touch challenge. This is a very crucial call here, Neil. 24-25 is the score. And we are only in the first set here in Cebu, witnessing great volleyball action. They're still figuring it out so far. This is on the attack of Jewel Encarnacion on the left pin.
It's a crucial juncture of the set. Again, we're waiting for the result of the block touch challenge on that hit of Encarnacion.
Both teams looking alive here in the latter part of this first set. At the beginning of this first set, it was an exchange of errors, specifically at the service line. We're still awaiting the result of this block touch challenge.
You're still watching our PVL on tour here in Minglanilla, Cebu. A while ago, we just witnessed the Signal HD Spikers win in 3 sets against the Next Chameleons.
Oh,
Yes, there was a block touch.
what a challenge here for Galeries.
Sometimes players na nagsusot ng arm sleeves, hindi nila nararamdaman
Yep.
yung bola. Officially, that will be a point for Galeries Tower. And that is it for set number 1. This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. And after that successful challenge, Galeries will take first blood in our second game of our doubleheader. Don't go away. We'll give you more PVL action when we return. You're still watching the All-Filipino Conference of the Premier Volleyball League. Set number 1 went to the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Capital1 almost completed that comeback. But the Galeries Tower Highrisers had enough juice to finish that opening frame.
And I have to say, Neil, they stayed composed from start to finish. Julia Cornell feeding the ball to Jewel Encarnacion and Isa Jimenez. A lot of options here for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Of course, Lai Aroa commanding the back. But for the Capital1 Solar Spikers, Jarrell Singh and Patty Orendain were able to provide points, but not enough in that set number 1. But take a look here, the attacks the same with 12 apiece. 2 aces for the Capital1 Solar Spikers, but take a look at that, Neil. 12 errors in that set alone for the Capital1 Solar Spikers, which is a lot of errors in just one set.
Actually, lamang pa nga yung Capital1 pagdating sa scoring skills natin.
Yes.
But it was the 3 errors more that really gave them a difficult time in completing that comeback. But now, naka-reset ang ating scores. It's back to 0 for Galeries Tower and Capital 1. Oh, one thing's for sure, yung natutunan ng Capital 1, and you can't afford to give away so many unforced errors on the service line. And for Galeries Tower, you also have to take care of your lead because they had a good lead early on, but they allowed Capital 1 to erase that lead.
That's right, they did have a huge lead in set number 1, and Capital 1 was slowly gaining that momentum, but have lessons been learned for the Galeries Tower Highrisers? It's the end game, the finishing end that they need to work on, but they did clinch that first set that lasted in 39 minutes, 24-26.
Aside from the third set of the Signal next lead game, yun yung pinakamahaba na set so far, 39 minutes.
Yep.
Julia Coronel will get us going here in set number 2 as she goes for the serve.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second set. First set secured by the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
What a serve. What a serve. This is no surprise to us, Neil. She's had such a heavy serve ever since her college days. Strong start for Galeries.
That's a smart target. You do want to delay the approach of Jorel Singh or take her out of the equation entirely. Coronel will get back-to-back aces, this time off Roma Doromal.
You have a lot of servers, a lot of setters actually in the PVL who have tough serves. But Rivera now fielded in for Roma.
It's still the same result for Galeries Tower. That's 3 straight service aces for Julia Coronel.
Yep, this is something that we do not see here in the PVL. I mean, usually you could have 3 aces, but in a row from just one player alone is already a lot.
Make that 4 service aces. She is on a serving spree. Reminder lang, setter siya, ha? So, hindi madalas mataas yung production ng setter when it comes to scoring. Better pass from Capital 1. Tolinada will go to that slide. But that miss hit will give Galeries Tower a 5-point lead. Timeout, Capital 1.
Capital1 Solar Spikers. 5-0 is the score.
Ang laki-laki mo, yun lang ang magagawa mo. Ano nangyari doon sa reception doon? Eh na naman tayo nag-uumpisa tayo ng mababa, tapos mamaya nagkukumahog tayong humapon. Anong klaseng karakter yan sa laro? Tapos naghahanap kayo ng error. Wag!
Kapitan! You know, Neil, Coach Roger perfectly explaining the patterns that we've been seeing in his squad. Capital 1 always having a slow start and in the middle slowly gaining the momentum on their side, but sometimes relying on the errors of their opponent. This is where they need to have a strong start, but also a strong finishing end.
Oh, that is another ace from Julia Coronel. Wow!
6 points alone coming from the setter. Take a look at this corner pocket of zone 5. Earlier she went for a short serve.
Overpass. Chance ball for Capital 1. Pero nagkatinginan si Coronel and Jimenez.
That's the worst feeling, I would say, Neil, when the ball is about to fall in between 2 players. Sometimes you'd rather have 2 players clashing into each other.
kahit tayo nagulat.
Yep.
We didn't expect that error from Galeries Tower. Sayang because Julia Coronel
Yes.
was garnering a lot of points from the service line. That will be overreaching violation.
Yep. Overreaching coming from Julia Coronel. Coach Lerma telling her squad to relax.
Be quick play for Barbie Marzan. Tolenada will go for that 1-2 play. Jimenez gets it off the hands of Niegos and Singh.
Now I gotta give credit to Lai Aroa for reading that 1-2 play early on from Iris. Bump set coming from Julia, and take a look at that. Jimenez just touching the block in that sequence.
Good pass from Orindain. Quick attack gets blocked. Everybody just stared at that ball as it dropped. This block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
No coverage on the side of the Capital1 Solar Spikers.
First technical timeout. Galleries up by 6. We're back inside the Minglanilla Sports Complex in Minglanilla, Cebu. Galleries has established another 6-point lead, very similar to what they did in set number 1. Capital 1 right now struggling to get their own fair share of points. Pero narinig ako na ni Jorel saying she gets one right back off that swing from the left side. Down the line, good to go for Jorel Singh.
No, I remember her attacks from NU. Perfect placement down the line, but Julia was there.
Spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin. Pasalubong ng bayan.
We have the veteran setter, May Makatuno, in for Iris Tolenada.
Coach Roger is looking for the change in the flow of the movement of the Solar Spikers.
Yep.
And they're starting out really slow, but that has been the main culprit, especially here in set number 2.
Yep. It's already 7 aces alone for Galleries. I mean, take a look at that serve. Usually when the serve is above your shoulders, Neil, it goes outside.
So you have to trust the person behind you na makuha yung first ball na yon. Coronel chooses Ronquillo. That's good for France.
No, simple plays executed by Julia Coronel. France Ronquillo having a field day here, targeting in between that block of the Capital 1 Solar Spikers. Capital 1 needing to have better reception.
Chance ball for Galleries. Coronel will go to the combination play in the middle. Isa Jimenez pounds the pavement.
All smiles here for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Take a look at that combination play. And this is the first combination play we're seeing ran by Julia Cornell. Very composed and calm so far, Julia Cornell.
Sing,
Put an up.
popped up by Coronel. Back row from Marzan. Leila Cruz goes down the line and finds that open spot.
So she has the height when she's in the air. She's able to see the open spaces of that block. Take a look at that spot. Zone 5. We haven't talked about her so much in this second set.
Ronquillo.
Quick
Just-
side out. Yep.
Yeah, just utilizes the blockers.
Simple plays coming from France Ronquillo here.
This is what we're talking about. The Galeries Tower is a talented team.
Yep.
The score clearly shows their dominance here in set number 2. 13-4. So even if they're still winless, hindi talaga yun enough to, gauge their skill level.
Yep.
Coronel will go to Ronquillo. And that is good. She can do no wrong, Jamie.
That's right, Neil. Finding that open space in the defensive pattern. Take a look at this. In between that open window of that block, targeting zone 5. You're also not in the right defensive position during those sequences.
More substitutions for Capital One. Shola Alvarez is now in the ball game. Tight. Rendain tried to go for that hit out.
Smart. That's a smart
Yeah.
play.
She will get a check ball according to our first referee, but there is a challenge on the floor from the Galeries Tower Highrisers, a block touch challenge.
So that is on the attack of, or in the in. The set was a bit too short, and she was trying to allow that ball to touch the hand of that block of the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
She wasn't able to go for a proper approach as well.
Yep.
And in her eyes, yun na yung best option na pwede niyang puntahan.
Yep.
But was there a touch on the blockers of Galeries Tower? Take a look at the official replay. No, there was no block touch. Challenge will be unsuccessful for Capital One.
So it is a clean attack going on the outside. Successful challenge for Galeries.
Official score is 15, serving 4. Quick attack for Niegos. Blocked by Baliton. Makatuno has to recognize the height
Yep.
advantage of Rosel
Yep.
Baliton. Kahit maliit siya ng konti, she can still reach that ball. That kill block will lead us to our second technical timeout. We'll be back. Welcome back to our second game of our doubleheader. Right now, it's all Galeries Tower in set number 2.
Yep.
Look at the score, Jamie, 17-4. We just saw a 1-2 play from Julia Coronel. She has been the best scorer.
Yep, so far, I
so
would
far
say.
in set number 2.
Good up by Jewel. Ooh, what a spot.
Everything is just working
Yep.
for Galeries Tower. They are humming right now. They're converting their attacks. They're getting their kill blocks. Franz Ronquillo with a sharp cross court against Roma Toromal. Timeout, Capital 1.
Susundan nyo lang. Ang problema, delayed yung reaction nyo. Yung bola, pagka-block, halos sasayad na sa lupa bago kayo mag-react. Mali yung coverage natin eh. Hindi tayo nag-prepare. Ina-expect nyo, pag pumalo, babanda. Magkombinasyon talaga. Hanggang minsan na lang tayo makareceive. Open na open pa rin ang play.
Take a look at that score. Capital 1 with 4 and Galeries Tower Highrisers with 18. So far, so good for the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
This is now a 14-point lead for Galeries Tower. Coach Roger was pointing out na hindi na sila pwedeng pumunta sa basic plays. Chance ball for Galeries Tower. Coronel will go to that slide to Baliton. Picked up by Niegos. Orendain with a cross-court bomb. No go. That is outside from Franz Ronquillo.
This time sailing out, but you can still see that she's targeting that cross-court attack here. But the Capital 1 Solar Spikers kind of scrambling in their defensive pattern so far in this second set.
Ooh, shank pass.
Yep.
Will give a free point to the Solar Spikers. They're already in this situation, Jamie. So ano dapat yung mindset as we progress? Kasi this is, I mean, let's face it, it's a 12-point lead.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's impossible,
Yep.
but it's a tall order.
Yep. Better execution here, Neil. They have to have a strong finish because Capital 1, we all know, had a slow start. But these are the errors that we've mentioned. This is a pattern sometimes that we're seeing in their previous matches. That is a free ball, a rare free ball coming from Leila Cruz. You have to be more alert in situations like that.
Franz Ronquillo blocked by Leila Cruz. That's back-to-back points now for the Solar Spikers. Timeout, Galeries Tower.
Nasaan ka? Bakit wala ka doon sa long ball? Sumigaw ka, sigaw mo. Hindi naman lahat yan kaya kunin nila eh. Kailangan magtulungan kayo dyan. Julia, ang blocker malaki sa harapan. May distansya mo. Hindi pa tapos yan. Hahabol at hahabol yan. Kahit may allowance tayo ng 10 points, kung hindi tayo magsisipag, hindi aabot ng 20 yan. Nawawala yung pagiging agresibo natin. Hindi pa tapos yan.
Ito na naman yung 2 spikers, ha? 2 spikers. Nanghingi yung nasa likod.
Let's go!
You can clearly hear the voice of Alyssa Eroa.
Yep.
She's not happy
Yep.
with the past few errors of her squad.
Yep.
Yun yung maganda eh. Even if you're the libero, you need to have that commanding presence.
Gotta speak
Kasi
up.
ikaw yung nag-organize ng defense pattern
Yep.
sa likod eh.
You are coordinating also with the blockers alone because she is giving perfect passes to her squad.
That's a good break point for Galeries Tower. She's also the team captain.
Yep.
Alyssa Eroa, again, one of the best liberos in the PVL.
And you know, she's been awaiting for a win here, Neil, in the All-Filipino Conference.
11-point lead for Galeries Tower. Alvarez with the first pass. Orendain, check at the net. Cruz, checked again. Eroa will set up Coronel.
Wow!
Look at that. Julia Coronel being converted into an attacker.
What a spot coming from Julia Coronel. Going for that down the line. She knew that there was no defense found for Capital One.
Cruz, too strong.
Yep. Also, the bump set was a bit too off the net. She was not really balanced also with that execution.
A double sub. Ito na naman yung iniintay ng mga Cebuano here inside our sports complex. Demi Pacres checks in alongside Mabilangan. You saw the hand signals?
Yep.
They will try to go for a combination play.
What a serve.
Chance ball. Galeries Tower. Kanino pupunta si Mabilangan? Demi Pacres. Blocked by Villegas.
Yep.
Villegas saw that coming from a mile away.
Yes, she did. The combination play. But the double substitution here, Pacres, they did come in that first set. But she actually didn't go in the front row in that first set.
Medyo malamig pa.
Yep.
Let's see if babalik si Mabilangan kay Pacres. She goes to Jewel Encarnacion.
Is there a touch on that one? She is asking for a touch.
There was no touch on the block, according to our first referee. Instant challenge from Galeries Tower. Block, touch challenge. Pero babawiin nila yon. They will let that one go. It will now be Leila Cruz on the service line for Capital One.
Ooh, crucial. It's not the brightest day in this second set so far for the Capital One Solar Spikers. No rhythm.
This receive again for Capital One. Encarnacion will go for a rolling shot. Ball still alive. But that kill block is good.
It's a kill block by
That's the
Villegas.
second kill block of Villegas. Dindin Pacres with a spin shot, and yes! Dimi Pacres will get her first point of the match. You can see her family in attendance.
Yep, and the crowd is going wild for that attack, that off-speed attack. Take a look at that. They are chanting her name here.
Tolenada goes to Shola Alvarez. Mabilangan to Encarnacion. Capital One will have another chance. Alvarez will score off the head out.
That is the first point for Alvarez for the Capital One Solar Spikers. Take a look at this. Just carefully touching that ball on that block of Galeries.
Highrisers are just 2 points away from getting a 2-sets-to-love advantage against Capital One. Overpass. Point for Alvarez.
It's a back-to-back points coming from Alvarez. But Galeries is just 2 points away in clinching set number 2 here.
Reverse set. Papunta sa kombinasyon kay Encarnacion. Ball still alive. Pacres with the first touch. Encarnacion with a drop. Blocked by Capital One. Dimi Pacres from the back. Dug by Leila Cruz. Chance ball for Capital One. Alvarez cross court. Pacres with a drop. Tolenada will go for an attack. Push from Mabilangan. Tolenada will get that point. for Capital One.
What a rally between both squads. Take a look at this. Iris being that offensive setter. We all know her classic 1-2 play. So much grit in Iris.
You know that her energy is just infectious
Yes.
on the floor.
And electric.
Pag na-pump up niya yung teammates
Yep.
niya, good things happen to Capital One. We're still looking at a 9-point deficit. Need to play it clean. Jimenez with a push. Coronel will go back to Jimenez. And she scores off the hands of Leila Cruz.
You know, it's nice to see Neil Jimenez, Ronquillo, Barbie Marzan really getting all this playing time here. You could see their confidence has boosted this All-Filipino conference.
Everybody is just chipping in
Yep.
from Galeries Tower.
It's a teamwork effort.
Tight. That is outside, says the lines judge and the first referee. Challenge card put up by Galeries Tower. Ball in, ball out challenge. They are praying to win that challenge.
Yep.
Kasi sayang yun
Yep.
if unsuccessful
Yes.
yung challenge. Because it was a tight pass. That
Yep.
was a good serve from Galeries Tower. They forced that shank pass. But did Marzan
Let's see.
catch the line?
Let's see. Julia Coronel was sure that that attack did go inside. Well, let's see on this ball in, ball out challenge. It's a ball in, ball out challenge. The score is 14-24.
Galeries Tower only needs one more point. To seal the deal here in set number 2. For those people who are still watching us on the Pilipinas Live app, we hope you answer the Pilipinas Live poll question of the game. That was inside. The point and the set will be going to the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
It's a team effort we're seeing from the back in Lai Aroa and Julia Cornell running that shift for Galleries.
Official score is 25-14 in favor of Galeries Tower. We'll be back. You're still watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference. I'm sorry, Jamie. The old Galeries Tower Highrisers can't come to the phone right now. Tama yung nakikita nyo po. Galeries
Yes.
Tower is now up 2 sets to love against the Capital1 Solar Spikers. 25-14 in set number 2, 26-24 in set number 1. What happened, Jamie, in set number 2? Take us through some of our highlights.
Well, you gotta commend the teamwork from start to finish. The back row and Lai Aroa commanding the back. But Julia Coronel, she started that set number 2 with 6 aces in a row to start off that strong start for set number 2. But Isa Jimenez and Joel Encarnacion and Barbie Marzan doing the heavy lifting for both squads, whereas the Capital1 Solar Spikers needed to step it up that set number 2. But we got to talk about the set 2 stats here. 6 attacks for Capital1, which is very low for just one set alone, but 12 coming from the Galeries Tower Highrisers. It's the spiking meal of the Capital1 Solar Spikers that needs some tweaking from that set number 2, but Iris Tolenada needing to set up the middle blockers, I would say, a bit more, and also better service reception. Of course, we all know Julia Coronel starting off, you know, serving. That is usually the rotation where she does start serving. But let's see if the Capital1 Solar Spikers can extend this match to 5 sets, whereas the Galeries Tower Highrisers wanting to clinch their first win in that column.
Yeah, we saw 12 attacks from the Galeries Tower Highrisers, but kailangan ipagpasalamat yun sa serving ni Julia Coronel. She did score a lot of the aces. I think she was able to score all of those aces, 6
in
points in a row for Galeries Tower. Now, they're in a very good position, Jamie, for you. Ano yung kailangan gawin ng Galeries Tower to close out this game? Because this has been their problem. We're seeing one of the team owners,
that's
Mandy Romero, owner of Capital1, supporting her squad. Well, let me go back to my question, JB. Anong kailangan gawin ng Galeries Tower Highrisers to finally get win number 1? And on the flip side, ano din yung kailangan gawin ng Capital1 to keep their hopes alive in this match?
With Galeries, they have a strong start. Of course, they're up by 2 sets, but it's the end game, the end execution here, the finishing strong. But for Capital1, better reception. Iris Tolenada is unable to make plays and set up her spikers here with no reception. We have set 3. Here we are in Cebu. Patty Orendain up to serve for the Capital1 Solar Spikers.
Capital1 can't afford to start slow. Kung diesel man ang takbo ng Capital1, this is the set to really get an early lead against Galeries Tower. For Galeries Tower, they also can't afford to relax.
Yep. We all know that the Capital1 Solar Spikers have been in situations like this before. But it's all about that end game. But I have to talk about Julia Coronel and Lai Aroa. They have to stick to what they've been doing this entire match, commanding the back and the front.
All I can say is it has been an exciting day here in Cebu. After that nail-biter of a set in set number 1, set number 2 was just under 30 minutes in favor of Galeries Tower. We're ready to start things off with Patty Orendain on the service line. 4 touches will be called. That is the start na hinahanap ni Coach Roger. It was just 1 point, but it is important to get it right.
Lai was trying to tell the up ref that it was not 4 touches, but then Coach Lerma mentioned that it was 4 touches in that first rally.
Confusion on the side of Galeries Tower. They get that point back off the block of Marzan and Coronel.
So kill block coming from Barbie Marzan. Take a look at this replay here. Yep, no coverage for Capital1. And There you see it. Julia up to serve.
Side attack for Villegas. Check up top. Jimenez from the right. Popped up by Orendain. Alvarez. Coronel. Jimenez with an adjustment. Free ball for Galeries Tower. Jimenez with more power on the hit. Iris Tolenada with a 1-2 play. Ooh! What a hit from Encarnacion. Didn't see that coming.
Yep. Take a look at this replay. Almost slicing that attack, avoiding that block, and also avoiding that net touch as the set was tight near the net.
She has also improved so much from her first conference in the PVL.
It's the playing time, Neil.
1-2 play again. Doesn't work for Capital One. Slide for Villegas. But Eroa was there. Ronquillo. Tolenada will choose Alvarez.
Is there a touch on that one?
But there was a net touch. Heather Ginoo is now back in the ball game. Coach Roger has been trying to get the right rotation for Capital One.
Yep.
Out of system play for the Solar Spikers. Blocked by Galeries Tower.
And Neil, you could see the block of Galleries awaiting for that attack of Heather.
Block of the set is brought to you by East West Bank, the official bank of the All-Filipino Conference of the PVL.
Iris setting up Heather, but this time, I believe that is inside, redeeming herself after that attack error earlier. Take a look at this replay. What a spot coming from Heather.
Tolenada on the service line. Quick attack for Marzan.
You know, the Spikers of Galleries are shining because of Julia Coronel. She gives them an opportunity, a chance to shine. Take a look at that 8-quick. Also, good reception as well. Steady reception coming from the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
When you have everybody scoring at will, makakuha talaga ng commitment si Julia Coronel. It's a middle blocker. Ronquillo. They brush it off the hands of Capital One. Leila Cruz. Yes. Capital One keeping it close here in set number 3.
That is the second overall pick from that rookie draft, Leila Cruz.
She is coming off a 17-point performance in that win against the next-led Chameleons. Combination in the middle. Coromal popped that up perfectly. Too tight. Oh, great save from Eroa. Reverse set to Leila Cruz. Got too excited. That set. That was a beautiful set from Iris Tolenada. But wrist action was missing in that last hit.
But also kudos to Eroa. Quick reactions we're seeing coming from her.
Orendain, better strategy. They've been trying to challenge the double block of Galeries Tower, pero bumabalik ng bola. So they do have to change directions from time to time.
It's a quick side out.
Tight. The defense was there. Reverse set again for Leila Cruz this time. Galeries Tower.
And mind you, Neil, Rosel Balizon is right there awaiting for the attack of Leila Cruz. Take a look at that. One of the taller spikers of the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
they're getting a lot of kill blocks
Yep.
here in set number 3. So kung serving yung advantage nila, set number 2, now it's their net defense. Quick attack for Villegas. Perfect connection
Yep.
with Iris Tolenada.
That's right, Neil. Perfect connection. I believe this is her first point here on that B quick attack. Take a look at that.
Would you say na yun yung missing link, yung involvement ng middles for Capital One?
Definitely. I believe Iris has established the wing spikers. We all know in the sport of volleyball, it cannot just be one player shining. You have to spread out the offense, and that is exactly what Julia Coronel has been doing for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Take a look at that. Executing another combination play. She is really maturing in this conference here in the PVL, Neil.
Capital One recognized the combination play, but they weren't able to tighten up that three-woman block. Orendain will get blocked by Coronel and Marzan. And that will lead us to our first technical timeout. Galleries up top by 2. The Galeries Tower Highrisers are on pace to gain win number 1. Our Saturday doublehead. They are up 2 sets to love against the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Pero mahaba pa ito. We know, Jamie, na closing out games is actually the longest part. It feels like forever.
Yep.
1-2 play for Tolenada. Does not work. Push from Encarnacion. They will slow things down. Encarnacion will get checked. She will try again. But Ginoo was there. Orendain. Check again.
It has been a blocking party for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Double block pressed on Patty Orendain. And is that Julia again?
Yeah.
Getting that block. How many points? Already, I'm sure, in double digits.
For sure.
Yep. From the service, from the blocking, and all around setter here for Galeries.
She was a lady spiker after all in college.
Yep.
Tataklasal yung,
Low-key flex.
yung blocking na advantage ni Julia Coronel.
Low-key flex.
Oh! That's the second time that it happened.
And it's in the worst situation as possible. And the ball is still so high. But in the game of volleyball, that does occur, that does happen.
But when in doubt, you just get
Just
the ball.
get it, yeah, just-
Di baling nang magkabanggaan
Yes, it's
kayo.
okay. You could say
Kesa-
sorry later. Who cares?
Kesa na bumagsak yung bola. Tolenada goes to Ginoo.
Ooh, a block yet again.
Walang pinapalagpas si Julia Coronel and Barbie Marzan.
It's a wall for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. And Neil, she is still at the service line.
Setting has been a bit predictable
Yep.
from Capital One.
Yes.
Iris Tolenada can utilize her reverse sets. Because right now, the two-woman block is just waiting for the attack of Heather Ginoo. Tolinada again goes to Ginoo.
Ooh, good reaction.
That's good. Turmal will choose Tolinada. Pop by Eroa, no problem. No challenge from Capital One. Chance ball for the Solar Spikers. Carashon will swing. Another long rally we're seeing here. Chance ball, Galeries Tower. Eroa slows that ball down. Combination play. Ginoo. Another swing from Ginoo. Again, no problem from Eroa. Corona, Encarnacion. We'll get a check ball. Wait lang. You have to catch it.
What a rally. Inhale, exhale, but like Eroa, beautiful dig. And it's also the face.
Parang in her mind, she was like saying, yun na yun.
Yeah. That's all you got? That's all you got?
Keeping it simple. Galeries Tower now up by 4. Slide attack for Villegas. Still blocked by Galeries Tower. Tight. That will be a lifting violation called on Julia Coronel.
A rare error. So far, so good for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. But the Capital One Solar Spikers needing to step up even more in this third set.
Quick attack from Marzan. Oh! Miscue.
Yep.
Between Jorel Singh and Heather Ginoo.
You know, these are the moments where you have to stay composed, you have to stay calm. You are down by 2 sets. You can't afford making these unforced errors, especially with the Galeries Tower Highrisers team that is gaining that momentum.
That is the pass na hinihintay ni Iris Tolinada. And they will force this free ball from Galeries Tower. Great pickup from Doromal. Heather Ginoo. Too strong
no
on
touch
the
on
swing.
that one. There's no touch on that one. The passing is doing just fine
I
for
think
Capital.
they have regained their composure in the passing department. But they're having problems with the efficiency naman pagdating sa offense.
Yep.
So, kumbaga, hindi nagsasabay-sabay yung 3 touches ng Capital One.
Yes.
Out of system play from Capital One. Yeah, it's a better.
Yep. And Heather
Swing.
prevailing. Yep, prevailing in that one.
Spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin. Pasalubong ng bayan.
What an attack by Heather. Making a statement on that one.
Lead is at 4 for Galeries Tower. Another quick attack. But support was there. Tolinada.
It's a double contact coming from Iris. Sometimes the ball gets a bit wet from the sweat. Sometimes you cannot control that.
Tolinada goes to the middle.
I think this is what Iris needs to do a bit more. Run the combination plays. The passing is doing just fine for her team.
Yun din yung sinabi ni Coach Roger kanina. Sometimes we get consistent passes and pag dumating na yung time na yun, that's the time you go to your combination plays. And Cruz is clearly comfortable in hitting those differential plays from the middle.
Yes.
Chance for Galeries. Quick attack to Baliton. Jorel Singh. Picked up by Eroa. Offhand from Ronquillo. Soft touch from Jorel Singh.
That's down. And that off-speed attack was also high. It was diggable for Julia Coronel. There was a bit of hesitation in that run coming from Julia.
We're seeing more variation from the attackers of Capital One. Kailangan na kailangan nila yun. They have to really pressure the defenders to just keep on moving.
Yes.
3-point ball game. Is Heather Ginoo on deck to serve for the blue shirts. This is received from Galeries Tower. Ronquillo gets a touch.
Yep. Simple plays that we're seeing from Galleries. And you can see that the Galeries Tower Highrisers, they're not allowing the Capital1 Solar Spikers to gain any sort of momentum.
They know that it is already winnable for them.
Is there a touch on that one?
No touch. Niegos was underneath that ball. That will lead us to our second technical timeout. Galeries Tower in the lead, 16-11. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the All-Filipino Conference of the Premier Volleyball League. Galeries Tower Highrisers are still in control. Set number 3. Official score is 16, serving 11. They can feel it, Jamie. But
The atmosphere,
they have to sprint
Yep.
to that 25-point mark because we know the comeback capabilities of Capital One. You know, from the pipe, no problem, says Encarnacion. Ronquillo will try to clean that ball up. Cruz off that push, and yes.
Yep.
Get a point back for Capital One.
Luckily with her height, she was able to make a way from that tight set. But Leila Cruz being one of the key players for the Capital1 Solar Spikers, they do need her a bit more in this game.
Coronel goes to a combination play. Great
Wow.
find
Yep.
from Ronquillo.
I have to say, the orchestrating of that offense of Julia Coronel. Combination play yet again. Iris not awaiting for that tip, but now we have May fielded in, running that ship for Capital One.
May Makatuno goes to
Too
the
low.
middle.
It's a bit too low.
Chance for Capital One. Cruz rejected by Encarnacion.
The blocking party is unstoppable for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Neil, this is a good sign we're seeing from them. But Capital One will call for time.
Layo mo. Ha? Hindi yung papaluin mo lang. Single block dapat nga alam mo na kaagad kung saan mo padadaanin yung bola. Mabilis yung atake niya, mabilis ang balik ng bola. Pag kayo nakatangla na gano'n, para kayo naghihintay ng bituin, bilisan yung reaction niyo sa bola.
Let's go. Kapitan!
The score is 18-12. Galeries Tower Highrisers just moments away of getting their first win here. But for the Capital One Solar Spikers, they are up for a race here as they want to extend this match. Ronquillo up to serve here.
Net defense
On point.
still there
Yep.
for Galeries Tower.
Oh, what a dig from France.
Oh, great coverage from Ronquillo. Makatuno goes to the combination in the middle.
Smart. This is what we've been saying, Neil. The combination plays that need to be activated a bit more for the Capital One Solar Spikers. Take a look at this. May going for Jarrell Singh in this one. You have to make your opponents move in defense. You can't be too predictable in the offense.
Makatuno will try to rally all the troops
Yep.
in the hopes of coming back here in set number 3. That's a good serve from Leila Cruz.
Yep.
They're just down by 4. That is not a safe lead.
Yep. Got to take control. And with Galeries, this is something that they've been needing to work on, is that end game. Ooh, that is definitely inside. Very inside. Lai did miscalculate that one.
Yeah. Second libero will come in for Coach Lerma.
That is Katindig for Galeries.
Coronel will choose Encarnacion.
Is
Was
there
there a
touch?
check ball? No, there was no check ball. Capital One only down by 2 points. Timeout, Coach Lerma.
Kalmahan lang natin yung pasa. Mag-out of system yan. Dinadaan mo sa lakas. Ano ba yung ginagawa natin pag nagbabakro kayo? Bukang-buka, galing out of system eh. Diba? Tama naman yun, nag-swing ka. But then again, layo mo sa net. Diba? Anong gagawin mo? Oh. Play smart! Play smart!
Back to the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 16-18 is the score.
Let's go! Galeries!
Errors are slowly piling up here for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Whereas Leila Cruz has been serving well for the Capital One Solar Spikers.
Only down by 2 points. Let's see if Leila Cruz can come up with another ace. Good pass from Galeries Tower. Blocked! No coverage behind Juan Encarnacion. It is a 1-point ball game. Double sub for Coach Lerma. Mabilangan and Pacres will check in to replace Jimenez and Coronel. Misreceived from Galeries Tower. Pacres will go for a power hit. Ginoo from the pipe. Dug by Ronquillo. Encarnacion again, popped up by Doromal. Ronquillo keeps that ball alive. Encarnacion with a
What
sharp
a
cross.
spot!
And that is good to go.
What an angle coming from Jewel Encarnacion. Take a look at this. What a spot. And you can see Jarrell Singh awaiting for that tip. She did not calculate that one right.
Such a difficult angle to
Yes.
hit. Lead us back to 2 for Galeries Tower. Jarrell
That's too
Singh.
tight. It's too tight. These are the moments, like I said earlier, Neil, the small things that need to be honed here for the Capital One Solar Spikers, but they will call for time.
Compose mo yung sarili mo. Hindi naman makokorek ng sorry mo yung ginagawa mo eh. Ha? Kailangan natin dikit na eh. Tapos ngayon, nagtatlo na naman. Dahan-dahan lang, huwag mong madalin. Sino ba ang spiker dito? Ikaw, John? Sige. Pagka binigay sa'yo yung bola doon, balik mo dun sa gitna, ha? Sige.
Coach Roger not too happy with the mistakes, especially with the situation that they are at right now. They cannot afford making these errors, especially they are down by 2 sets, whereas Galleries wanting to get their first win in the PVL All-Filipino Conference.
The countdown begins though for Galeries Tower, 5 points away from that elusive win number 1. Paliton still on the service line. Misreceived from Capital One, out of system play for Jarrell Singh. Kabilangan will put that ball up for Encarnacion. Makatuno goes to the left pin. Yes,
Yep.
Jarrell Singh hitting it off the hands of Dimi Pacres.
So what an attack coming from Singh. A lot of power and juice from that attack, making a statement here. The veteran spiker needs to do more for her squad. She needs to step up.
Saktong-sakto yung target, the right hand
Yep.
of Dimi Pacres. It's received from Galeries Tower. Encarnacion will change things up. Free ball for Galeries Tower. Encarnacion again with that cross-court hit.
Neil, everything is in sync for the Galeries Tower Highrisers. Take a look at that. Doing wonders for her squad and still targeting that cross-court zone.
What can you say about the control of Jewel
The control,
Encarnacion?
yes, yes.
Mahirap yun i-master.
Yep,
But
shining bright for
here in this third
Galeries.
set, she
Yep.
has displayed a lot of restraint dun sa mga hits niya. Alam niya kung kailan to challenge, alam niya kung kailan to go sharp cross. Slide for Villegas. Jimenez. Makatuno will push that ball over. Jimenez again.
touch on that one. No, Heather was able to get a touch on that one, but the ball was too high and too far for Layla Cruz to even get that one.
This is a good sign for Galeries Tower because they have Julia Coronel on the service line.
Yes, perfect timing for her.
If hindi man siya maka-ace, she can just force that misreceive. But Doromal is up for the challenge. Another chance for Capital One. Ginoo, yes!
You know, Neil, we did feature her in our pregame earlier. You gotta give kudos to her, commend her for her hard work here. Up against 2 blocks and breaking that wall of the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
She saw the gap in between the blockers of Galeries Tower and she just took advantage. Villegas to serve.
Ooh, that's too tight.
Cruz will set that up for Ginoo. Encarnacion using her offhand. Barbie Marzan with the regalo.
What a spot for Barbie Marzan, and perfect timing targeting Villegas. She was not balanced there in that defense. Smart plays, we're seeing much improvement for the Galeries Tower Highrisers.
They're now at warning point. Tolinada will go to the slide attack. Picked up by Eroa. Chance ball for Capital One. Another slide. Coronel goes to the quick. That ball was just
Yep.
too low for Barbie
Too low.
Marzan.
Yep, a bit too low.
Capital One still alive here in set number 3.
Please bring your garbage with you as you go. Let's keep our gymnasium clean for the next users. Again, clean as you go.
Coronel is asking her teammates to calm down.
Relax. Composure is needed, especially at this time. Heather Ginoa doing the heavy lifting for the Capital One Solar Spikers. She is difficult to block. They are having a difficult time getting her attacks here. So far, so good for Heather.
Timeout, Galeries Tower.
Kasi nga, nanggigigil kang abutin siya. Ladies, huwag niyong abutin. Ipasok niyo lang yung kamay. Hayaan niyo siyang kung iiwas yan, iiwas yan. May floor defense tayo. Ngayon, pag pinalo niya ng diretso, matik yun, block yun. Pero kung iwi-wave mo pa yan na ganyan-ganyan, doon tayo nabubutasan. Kumalma ka lang para makapag-isip ka ng maayos. O, pasahan natin ng maayos. Sino nasa harap? Uy, atake tayo!
Pasakot tayo!
Tingnan mo ang blocker ha. Pag sumabay dito, ito ha?
Galeries is just moments away of clinching their first win here in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. But the Capital One Solar Spikers wanting to extend this match. France Ronquillo also doing the heavy lifting for her squad. Let's see how things will unfold.
Ronquillo from the left. Eroa will set that up for Jimenez.
What a
There
spot.
was a check ball,
Yep.
but that ball also caught the end line.
So out of system play, bump set coming from Eroa, but perfect spot, just touching that line.
Guess what, Jamie? Galeries Tower is now at match point. They have 3 match points. Hernandez. Torenada goes to Leila Cruz from the middle. They are still alive.
Neil exposed a deadly combination plays here. Every time they go for that combination play, there is success. Especially Leila Cruz, she can target and attack from all angles here.
This is a full front line for Capital One. That is an ace for Heather Ginoo. Actually, yun yung iniintay ko kanina pa. We know that she is a lethal server.
Yep. But getting that ace at the right time.
Set point pa rin ang Galeries Tower. Coronel will go to Ronquillo. And that is it. The Galeries Tower Highrisers officially join the winning column here in the All-Filipino Conference of your Premier Volleyball League. Take a look at that once again. France Ronquillo challenging the double block of the Solar Spikers.
What a finishing end to beating the Capital One Solar Spikers in 3 sets. It's the teamwork from start to finish, the composure, and the demeanor that they had and the confidence that they are slowly building in this PVL All-Filipino Conference.
Just to give you a recap, this is a 3-set win for the Galeries Tower Highrisers against the Capital One Solar Spikers. We'll take a quick break and we'll wrap it all up when we return.
And we are back inside the Ming Lanilia Sports Complex here in Cebu. And I am here with Rica Rivera of the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Rica, the PVL is finally here in Cebu, your hometown. What is your message to the fans?
Daghan salamat sa pagtanaw karong duha. Thank you sa pagbiyahe kay Kibaw ko na layo kayo ni, and thank you to all PVL fans and to the management for bringing us here, and to my family also for watching us.
Siyempre, hindi natin papalampasan yung opportunity to talk to Demi Pacres, another homegrown talent here in Cebu. Demi, alam ko matagal mo nang iniintay yung opportunity to play in front of a home crowd. What is your message to all of your supporters?
Maayong gabi, Mingla Nilia Cebu! Woo! Nag-enjoy ba ang tanan? Hep, hep! Horay! Pit Senyor!
I love that. Very high energy. Again, congratulations on your first win. Jamie, I know you're with our best player of the game.
And I'm here with the best player of the game, Julia Cornell. Julia, congrats on your first win here in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. What a journey. You had 9 points, and 5 of them were coming from your aces. I mean, what a spectacular performance. What was the game plan coming into this game?
Well, game plan lang talaga namin coming into this game is mailabas lahat ng ininsayo namin, because we've been working really hard and we've seen how our team is already there. Kailangan lang talaga namin ng panapos. And finally, this is such a special moment kasi this is our very first win of the conference, and we're really hoping for many, many more. And thank you, Lord, talaga.
Julia, you are slowly creating your identity here in the PVL, and your spikers shine because of you. How do you stay composed during these moments?
Well, we offer this game also to Kuya Jeric, our angel, who's looking over us. And, you know, despite everything, we just really try to keep going despite the hard moments, and yeah, just enjoy every moment.
Julia, there are a lot of fans here supporting you here in Cebu. What is your message to them?
Una-una sa lahat, maayong gabi sa tanan. Daghang salamat sa panonood niyo sa amin. We really appreciate y'all. Sana patuloy niyo po kaming suportahan. And to my family back at home, maraming salamat. I love you all. And to my best friend who's also here watching, who flew out to Cebu with her mom. And just to all of our supporters, maraming salamat.
And there you have it, Julia, Cornell, and company clinching their first win here in the PVL. We'll be back.
Jamie, it has been a long day here in Ming Lanilia, Cebu, but I know that the fans enjoyed our Saturday doubleheader again. That is the confirmation of the straight set win of the Galeries Tower Highrisers against the Capital1 Solar Spikers.
That's right.
Take us through some match highlights, Jamie. Paano ba nangyari itong first win ng Galeries Tower?
Well, Leo, it's their first win. It was a convincing win against the Capital1 Solar Spikers. All kudos to Julia Cornell, everyone pitching in. Isa Jimenez, Jewel Encarnacion, and of course, Lai Eroa manning the back row. But with the Capital1 Solar Spikers, I have to say, they have to go back to the drawing board. They had some lapses in that game, but Julia Cornell, Neil, stepped up to the plate, and she could see that she is maturing before our eyes in the PVL.
As I said a while ago, the old Galeries Tower Highrisers can't come to the phone right now. They controlled most of the scoring departments in attacking and blocking as well.
That's
It
right.
was a collective effort from the Galeries Tower Highrisers, and they truly deserved their straight set win. Numbers on your screens, match statistics, Jamie.
There you have the match stats. 31 attacks from Capital1, 37 from the Galeries Tower Highrisers. But Neil, take a look at this. 23 airs alone in that 3-set match for the Capital1 Solar Spikers. But we have to commend the blocking of the Galeries Tower Highrisers. 9 of them in that entire match, and most of them coming from Julia Cornell in that game.
Yeah, we saw no problem in the offense for the Galeries Tower Highrisers, but it was really the blocking and the serving that helped them get win number 1. We are flying back to Manila, everyone, for the resumption of your All-Filipino Conference. On December 10, you will have the Petrogas Angels go up against the PLDT High-Speed Hitters at 4 p.m. And after that, we will watch the Cherry Tigo crossovers go up against the Akari Chargers at 6:30 p.m. Venue will be at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. On behalf of my partner Jamie Lavitore and our director Ken Natividad, this has been Neil Flores saying thank you for watching the All-Filipino Conference of your premier volleyball league, the heart of volleyball. Daghang salamat po!